Growing Together is the newest expansion pack coming to The Sims on March 16th. Right before it, we're actually going to be getting a free base game update that adds infants, as well as just including a whole life stage's worth of items, gameplay features, and create a sim. So here's the deal. A lot has come out in the last couple of weeks, and I've gone through the 2 different trailers, I've gone through the blog posts, and a bunch of the tweets from both The Sims and The Sims gurus. There's honestly so much stuff to go through, and a lot of these things I don't really see anyone talking about just yet. So this video is really going over everything we know so far, whether it be confirmed or something that was said in passing by someone on the Sims team. And I'm breaking up all of these updates into categories that kind of make sense to me. But before we get too far into that, I just want to take a moment and say thank you for choosing to watch my video. I kind of know everyone and their mom is really responding and reacting and kind of putting their 2 cents out there for what they think this pack is going to be. I'm a little bit of a lurker when it comes to Sims Twitter, so I've mostly just been like analyzing to this point. So with that, we're gonna hop into the video with the first big update, which is infants. So this is the free part of the update that's going to be coming out on March 14th. And it is going to be leading into the new expansion pack. So what we know so far for infants, really, it's not much. What we do know is that it's a brand new life stage. It's going to be between the newborns and the toddlers. So we have the ability to either make the infants in Create a Sim or make them the good old-fashioned way with gameplay. So from what we can see in Create a Sim so far, the toddlers will have at least 3 different traits. And I imagine similar to how toddler traits work, they don't really migrate over when the sim ages up. Now, this is just for the free update. There's going to be a lot more things added for infants in the Growing Together pack, which I'm going to be getting into momentarily. But from what we could see some new items, some new gameplay interactions, obviously between all the different age stages, pets. So there's some cross-pack compatibility, which is awesome. As far as base game updates go, I think this is going to be a big one. Just be prepared to take all of your mods out, because anytime a new Sims form is added, mods always seem to break, which is to be expected. So when it comes to Growing Together, this really seems to be like the spiritual successor of the Sims 3 Generations pack, which was always a fan favorite, but we have to remember and remind ourselves constantly that we also just can't compare the 2 one-to-one, because they're not the same. There's going to be some things that I know we are missing that we really liked from the Generations pack, like camcorders and family films. That's something that we could do in Generations, and we were kind of guessing we would be getting for Growing Together just based on the trailer, but it has been confirmed that this is unfortunately not the case. And again, I say unfortunately, but I'm sure there's going to be things that are brand new and just so amazing from this pack. We can already tell that a lot of love and care was put into this one. And the first thing really to go over here is the new world. This is going to be a new residential world, taking a look at both the aesthetics and the name. For me, it's very clearly based off of like San Francisco and like Northern California Bay areas. Because one, we see the bayfront, of course, and then San Sequoia trees native to the California coast. But then again, Copperdale also reminded me of Santa Cruz, so maybe I have a slight bias. What we see in the blog post for this new pack, it says that there are 3 neighborhoods. So we have Anchor Point Wharf, we have Gilbert Gardens, and we have the Hopewell Hills. And this is what we know about each of these 3 areas. For the Anchor Point Wharf, they say your sim can enjoy the views, play on a playground, take it slow and go fishing with the grandparents, watch a movie at the wharf's refurbished theater, grab a bite to eat along the pier, visit the library filled with children's books, or even splish and splash at the Whalbert's public splash pad area. So there is quite a bit in here, but from what we see in the opening of the trailer, we have a child sim who is riding down the coastline of this wharf. We see a whole bunch of little shop fronts. So I imagine this is going to be kind of similar to the My Wedding Stories with Tartosa, where we have all of these little storefronts. And if we're lucky, some of them may be actual lots, but I'm imagining a lot of these are going to be rabbit holes, including this theater that's mentioned. Just based off of our experience with other rabbit holes, we see that frosted glass and we just know. But a library is also mentioned to have children's books. I'm imagining that will be one of the actual community lots that we can access in this area. And then it also mentions the public splash pad area. And it was said that the splash pad is an item that we can place in the game, but kind of looking at this area, I'm not quite sure if this is a community lot or again, if it's just a space that's between 2 lots that your Sims can just access. but we can see a couple different views of it, one from the trailer and another from a screenshot that was posted. And we can see a few fun things in the background. We can see like a little jungle gym in the back, and then I think that's a new like public little restroom pop-up. But okay, so the next area is Gilbert Gardens. And in the blog post, this one says, with so much to do, your Sims family will have the perfect outing at the urban park where they can walk in a group, learn to ride a bicycle, jog, or even hike on a nature path along the Gilbert Gardens lake. Again, it's hard to tell how many potential community lots or other type of lots are in this area, but we at least know about the urban park, which I believe is this location that we see quite a bit in the trailers. So we can see a type of like family outing that's happening. And this is also likely where we're seeing this power walking happening over this bridge, which I hope is not exclusive to this area. I really do hope that the power walking is something that your Sims can do anywhere, similar to going for a jog. But I do like the idea of the nature hikes, which is something that we could do in like Mount Komorebi, which suggests we may get some more like storytelling exposition through little pop-ups. Or it's the new rec center that was mentioned in a recent tweet from The Sims Twitter. And that tweet says, spend family time at the new lot venue type coming with The Sims 4 growing together. So that does mean it's going to be exclusive to this pack. The base game's not going to get it. And it says it has table games like symbols and puzzles, art classes, and space for events like baby showers and sleepovers. It's all relative to all ages. And all right, a lot to unpack here as well. So the new games, symbols and puzzles. So I'm guessing that the symbols is just the Sims version of Scrabble, which we can kind of see two Sims playing in this trailer. Now, whether these are items that you can just place on a game table or they're just their own unique table, I'm not really sure. But it also says we could take art classes, and it's space for different types of events. And honestly, the mention of games makes me kind of think of like the community spaces in Ego Lifestyle, as well as the like high school gymnasium lot. So I'm curious if this is a type of lot that there's a few different versions that you could have and build based on the event, or if the games and activities are like pop-up events like the festivals with city living, snowy escape, or cottage living, where maybe items just kind of appear and it says that a event of some kind is happening. Either that or the art classes will be like university, where again, it's a rabbit hole. You click on the building and you select the type of class you want to take. But I'm willing to bet that it is some kind of actual interactive class, just based on some of the items and stuff that we see in the background. There may be specific items that you have to have, like maybe this little picture fold over thing that allows you to host an art class of some kind. And then of course, the mention of baby showers and sleepovers. And like many of us, I'm sure we were a bit worried that sleepovers were locked to this lot type, which luckily does not seem to be the case. This is just a lot type that is one that is available to you if you don't have the space at your home lot. And luckily, it is one that is available in all worlds, so you can build a rec center anywhere else. But also with the sleepovers, I'm really curious to see how this type of event works, because it's an overnight event. But I do like the fact that it seems like the whole family can partake in this in some way. In this cute little clip of Atlas like blowing up and popping a balloon to startle his dad awake is just so adorable. And now the last area is called Hopewell Hills, and the blog post says a relaxed residential locale which has a slower pace that seamlessly mixes elements of modern and traditional craftsman-style homes. So in the trailer, we can see quite a bit of this area. We see a couple different families that I'm guessing live in this area, but I'm thinking since this is a major like intergenerational pack, we're gonna have a lot of the little fun interactive areas between the lots. So maybe another playground, barbecue area, public garden, something like that. Those are always great. Okay, like I said, a lot to unpack here. It's an entire new expansion, so that's kind of to be expected. So the next section I'm going to go over are new systems. So getting into these new systems, we're told that by adding more depth and gameplay to each life stage, the Sims 4 Growing Together expansion pack will add more choice and opportunity for your growing Sims by bringing up a Sim through new infant milestones. These milestones both highlight the way your Sims are growing up, as well as gain new abilities that open up the world around them for social interaction and exploration. Caregivers will have new ways of playing and caring for their infants with the changing station and infant playmat, as well as being able to carry them on their backs out into our family-friendly urban world. So not only are infants and toddlers getting more depth, but all of the other stages are also getting more depth, including adults and elders who really need it. And what's interesting is it says infant milestones, but we do know from the trailer that other milestones are being shown. Yes, with the child in the trailer, who I believe is Atlas from the Michelson family. I'm not exactly sure yet, but I'm willing to bet that these milestones are accessible in each age stage, and we'll kind of get into that. The first new system I'm talking about are quirks, and this is something in the blog post that was mentioned to be both for infants and toddlers, but they are different from one another. So infants are going to be getting 18 discoverable infant quirks that can change an infant's behavior. So these are kind of like traits, but not really. The fact that it says discoverable makes it sound like it's going to be a cross between Phases system from Parenthoods, or maybe something like the lifestyles that come from Snowy Escape. And so far we know 9 out of the 18 traits. So we have Self-Soother, Early Riser, Messy Eater, Frequently Hiccups, Gassy, Good Appetite, Snuggly Sleeper, Happy Sitter, Free Air Tinkler, and more. And we could see a few of these in the trailer, which makes me kind of curious what the remaining 9 are. And as much fun as new systems are, I just really hope that it has a greater impact to the game, specifically in the sense of what is kept upon age up. Because obviously, these are exclusive to this stage. So how does it impact the sim as they grow? Will it help determine character values? Or will it even affect their toddler skills when they age up, similar to how toddler skills impact childhood skills? So then, kind of similar for toddlers, we have 18 discoverable toddler quirks that also change the toddler's behavior. And the blog says these are discovered over time and make each toddler unique beyond their traits. And again, we have some examples, and it says aggressive, picky eater, early riser, little singer, good appetite, loves water, hates bedtime, loves being carried, and more. So again, these are things that I really hope get carried over between each age stage and aren't just something that's lost when our Sims age up, because at that point, it's almost like, what is the point? But okay, so next we're getting into children. And for me, the most exciting news is the fact that we're finally getting more aspirations for kids, because we've had the same 4 aspirations since the game freaking came out. So now we're getting 4 new ones: Slumber Party Animal, Mind and Body, Playtime Captain, and Creative Genius. So some of these do sound kind of similar to the existing aspirations that we have, specifically Creative Genius and Playtime Captain. So I'll definitely be curious to see what is unique about these ones specifically, and also what the reward traits are for completing these childhood aspirations. I just really hope that it's something new beyond what we already have, which is like creatively gifted, artistically gifted, mentally gifted, physically gifted, all of which help boost your adult skills once you age up. So I'm really curious to see what these ones will do, because I really do think that we've needed this for a while. So back to the description, this is where things kind of get interesting. With all the new content for kids this pack, there's plenty to aspire towards. Just make sure to keep their confidence high, or don't, but we know you'd never hurt a child's confidence, right? Because just like lost teeth, childhood confidence is also an aspect of growing up that every child sim faces in this pack. And what's interesting to me is that childhood confidence is capitalized, so that makes me think that this is a new mechanic. Now, this part is not confirmed, this is a little bit of speculation, but I want to draw our attention to this. We have this tweet by Sim Guru Nova saying, "How has no one noticed yet?" Noticed exactly what, ma'am? And then a huge arrow pointing to their icon that was changed a few days ago. And we have 2 little icons in here. And the reason I'm talking about this now is because if we see these little finger guns, those shades, to me, remind me of the confidence moodlet that The Sims already has. So I'm guessing this is either working within whatever this new childhood confidence system is. Maybe it has something to do with the new quirks system, if there is something that infants and toddlers can age up with, or maybe it's something brand new that we don't know about yet. Maybe it's new traits. Who knows? But if you have any ideas, let me know your thoughts in the comments, because this is one that I'm really curious about, mostly because Sim Guru Nova has actually been pretty active on Twitter recently and posting a lot of interesting comments, screenshots, and just, yeah, they're up to something. They're up to something. But anyway, on to milestones. And it says, through Sims' experiences and relationships, players will begin to encounter milestones, which will provide a way of showing players their Sims' current growth, as well as their lifelong touchstones that continue to impact them as they age. These include overcoming a career obstacle, getting let go from a job, having a midlife crisis, having a family move in, and so much more. And bringing up new Sims will be filled with new infant milestones that highlight the ways in which your Sims grow up and provide a way to guide players through new infant gameplay, making each milestone feel like a brand new and exciting experience every time. So for this, I'm seeing it similar to aspirations. By that, I mean there's going to be just certain goals and milestones that you're aiming to hit with your Sims throughout each stage in their lifetime. And I think this is the closest we're going to get to a memory system, which has been something that a lot of Sims players have been wanting for quite a long time. And in the trailer, we see a few milestones for sure, just based off of the information in these blog posts. We can see obviously the losing of the tooth, riding bikes, career obstacles, family members moving in. And then it also mentions midlife crises, which I am so excited about because I've been wanting like a midlife crisis system for a super long time. I kind of wanted it to be similar to, again, like the teenage phases where, oh, your Sim's going through a midlife crisis. They are a car fanatic now, or they're interested in trains, or they are going to be dressing way too young for their age. I don't know what the system's going to look like here, but it makes me really excited that we're going to have all these different possibilities and goals for our Sims now. So going back to that tweet by SimGuru Nova, maybe these icons are touchstones. Maybe they have something to do with milestones. Again, if you have any ideas, please let me know because my brain has been going like a million miles a minute and I want to know more. And I'm just really interested to hear what other people are kind of thinking about this too. But the riding bike ones is really interesting to me because it also makes me wonder what's going to happen to adults riding bikes in the future. Like, will you not be able to ride a bike as an adult if you never were taught how to ride a bike as a child? Or can you still learn how to ride a bike as an adult? But the losing of the teeth one also brings up a lot of questions because we have, all the mentions to the tooth fairy, the molar bear, and we see a lot of different images and motifs kind of surrounding this. At first, I was kind of hoping we were going to get an actual tooth fairy, kind of similar to like Father Winter or like Yama-chan, where it's just the NPC that kind of exists in this world. And I still think that would be kind of fun and kind of quirky, but also kind of terrifying. But maybe that's where the bear face comes from. But what's also mentioned here is having the family move in, which we can kind of see, again, in the trailer. We have the parents here that come in with their suitcase, and it looks like they're popping up shop, helping with their grandchild. And this can go one of a few ways. Either it's like the roommate system, where the Sims are there and they need like a designated space, so maybe you have to have a guest bedroom or some kind of extra place for those Sims to sleep in order for this kind of event to trigger. Or maybe it's a natural thing like the welcome wagon that just once you have the baby, it just automatically triggers the family member coming over to help you out. So again, really curious to see how that whole interaction works, but I'm about it. I'm also going to speculate that one of the milestones or touchstones that happens is this little interaction of teaching your elder family members how to use technology, because it kind of looks like they have a different kind of brick phone. And again, anything that one of these Sims gurus posts, I'm gonna be curious. I'm gonna speculate. I'm gonna wonder. I'm not gonna get my hopes up, but I'll definitely speculate. But okay, continuing in the new systems, social dynamics. And the blog says the Growing Together expansion pack also includes a new social compatibility feature, which introduces new ways of socializing that will feel different with each Sim, leading to deeper, more meaningful relationships with family and friends. Maybe specific family members are jokesters together, or maybe they are competitive. Watch your Sims' families grow more complex before your eyes. Your Sim will now have preferences that determine who they are socially compatible with and who are their sworn enemies. As your Sim experiences life, there will be opportunities for both drama and unity that will ultimately affect family dynamics and your Sim's relationships. There are plenty of new ways to interact with all the members of your family and lots of new content for different age groups. Most Sim elders enjoy a good power walk around the park, a good puzzle at the recreation center, or their role as caretaker of the family keepsake box. They're the best at giving life lessons, reminiscing on good times, and sneaking treats. Sometimes they even have a favorite grandchild. Oh my gosh, okay, again, so much to unpack here. So let's kind of start from the top. Social compatibility. So what I'm thinking the milestone system is to a old memory system. The social compatibility feature will be to the old attraction system. And by that, I mean, I don't think it's going to be exactly the same. I just think it's going to be the closest we're going to get. But I like the sound of new ways of socializing that feel different with each sim, because as universal as the get to know option is for Sims, I would like to see something that does feel more unique and personalized. Because you're going to be talking to your best friend differently than you're going to be talking to just a random person that you met on the street. But it says maybe specific family members are jokesters together, maybe they're competitive, and we already kind of have a place for this with sentiments, which again, we're like a huge game changer, literally. We have certain sentiments that are like mother dearest, distant parent, ones that symbolize that maybe siblings were really close, or maybe they were rivals. So I think that this is going to be kind of like an addition to that, maybe not in the same section, but it will have a similar kind of implication. But our Sims will be able to determine who they are compatible with and who they are sworn enemies to. Maybe it'll be something where their relationships grow faster because they're more compatible. Maybe they grow slower because they're, those sworn enemies, something like that. But I'll be really curious to see how this works together with the existing systems, because one of the things I want more than anything is a high level of compatibility between the packs, and to see things actually be different and not just a rebranded system from a previous pack. Another thing that's mentioned in here is the family keepsake box, which is capitalized. So again, it's an item of significance, probably some type of family heirloom, something or another. Maybe it holds memories of some kind, or maybe it's just a cute little item that is at some point passed on when they pass away. Giving life lessons is also mentioned. So again, maybe that has something to do with milestones, reminiscing about good times. Maybe it's just a fun little interaction, and sneaking treats, which we can see in the trailer, much to the exhaustion of the sim mother. But the thing I'm curious about with the favorite grandchild, because again, I'm going to imagine that it's mostly going to be something that's notated in the Sims info panel. Maybe there's a few additional interactions that the Sims can do between the grandparent and the grandchild. But I'm also going to place some of my hopes into a possible, inheritance system of some kind. But between the favorite grandchild, keepsake box, I could see it working. I feel like I could go on so much longer in speculation for all these things, but I'm really trying to keep it limited to the stuff that we've actually seen. But now I'm going to talk about just miscellaneous gameplay and other things that we've seen so far that weren't really covered by the previous sections. So the first one I want to talk about are tree houses. And besides the obvious scene that we have in the trailer where we have the Sims building the treehouse, we actually have two other shots of tree houses, which has led me to thinking I have a pretty good understanding of how they work. But the one we see in the trailer looks like it is going to be kind of space themed. We have a telescope out there. We have a little alien cardboard cutout on the front. In the trailer as well, we see another treehouse in the background, and this one looks like it has a giant octopus kraken thing on the side, so maybe this one is pirate themed. And then lastly, on Twitter, we have this screenshot that again, Sim Guru Nova posted. This one looks to be kind of cutesy castle love theme. And in the background, we can see another treehouse being built. So this is what leads me to believe that these two trees that the treehouse is being built around, this is a specific item. This is the only place where you can build the treehouse, which I think is kind of to be expected. And I'm thinking that there's going to be the 3 different versions that we've seen so far, and maybe 1 or 2 others. But something also worth pointing out in the background, you see that car in the driveway? Huh? Okay, I'll stop. But I think there's a lot of good possibility for these tree houses. I like that the whole family could work on it together, or at least everyone from child to elder, and they can all go up into the treehouse as well. I don't think we'll be able to be inside the treehouse, but I think there are possibilities, maybe for a teen hangout, or maybe a new woohoo spot for our adult Sims. So who's to say? All right, and these last few items are things that were revealed specifically on Twitter that again have not really fit into any of the other categories, but I want to go back to this tweet that originally talks about the rec center. And it mentions, "Don't worry, Grandpa, the only music playing on these speakers is the new Soul radio station." I'll admit, I don't really listen to the Sims radio all too much, partially because with recording videos, it's just going to get copyright claimed right away, so I honestly can't listen to it. But the reason I do like the radio stations are because of the likes and dislikes, which leads us into this post by Sim Guru Ninja, showing that soul music is now an item that you can like or dislike. We can also see in the screenshot that the number of likes is different. In the game currently, we could only have about 20 likes and dislikes total, which honestly isn't a lot. And it's part of why there are honestly a few different mods that give you way more likes and dislikes. But based on the fact that The Sims Twitter did respond, kind of cheekily with a little gif showing a sim in lockup, this suggests to me that something of value was revealed in this, probably intentionally, and again, they're just being kind of cheeky, but I'm guessing this is more likely to be part of the free game update that happens right before the expansion pack. But since it hasn't yet been confirmed it's exclusive to the Growing Together pack, I'm mentioning it here. And the last thing I'm going to bring up is this tweet by Sim Guru Morgan saying, "Will Kyle be the new Secret Greg? Will I tease about Kyle and not give details? Probably. All I'm going to say is that Sim Guru Connor might have completed the VD trifecta." So who is Kyle? Based on the trailer, my guess is on this guy right here. So maybe he's some kind of local NPC, maybe he guides you around town or gives you some kind of information, but seems to be some kind of inside joke, so I'm keeping my eye out for him. But that's it. That's everything to the point of which I'm recording that I've been able to find regarding this new pack. But I'm really curious to know what everyone else is thinking about this pack so far. Are you excited about it? Are you kind of wary about it? And what are your theories about some of these new gameplay systems? And if you like this kind of video content, be sure to give the video a like, let me know in the comments, and subscribe to stay tuned for any additional Sims postings. But thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!